We're going to be giving a tutorial today on changing oil filters in the Nuffield range of tractors fitted with the BMC engine. In particular, it's the tractors with the round nose cone, and that's going to cover models from the Universal 3, the Universal 4, 342, 460, 1042 and 1060. Note the Nuffield 345 and 465 have only one variant of oil filter, whereas all these other BMC diesel engine tractors can have a choice of 3 filters, which always catches people out, and so I thought to do this video to help them out. What I'm going to say from the start is obviously we supply all the filters, all the parts. If you're in a mess, just send us your old filter bowl and head, and we can sort out the missing parts. I do find that obviously the AGR, that the bowl and the head might not match. We get all sorts of things. But the fundamental thing is the internal elements must be in the filter housings. Otherwise, what happens is the filter just floats inside and doesn't filter your oil, and you just end up with a lot of damage inside the engine. So there's 2 types of filter head. There's a filter head made by Purolator, which is this kind here. Now with Purolator filter heads, there is 2 filter options, a long and a short. There's another type of filter head that will say Vokes in large letters over the top. With the Vokes filter, there's just one option. It has a small hole at the end, large hole at the back. But today we're going to be doing the Vokes here, pardon me, the Purolator here, which is just fitted with the short Purolator filter, which is a GFE102. So I'm going to drain the oil and get all the bits and bobs out so you can see what's in it. Okay, I'm just going to remove the filter canister. It's a 9/16 spanner to take it off. I'll put my new clean filter out of the way. Yes, you can catch the oil with trays and stuff if you want. Basically, I'm just going to put my tray underneath, let my filter off a bit quick. And then what I'm going to do is drain the oil out. And then I'm going to draw the filter. As I draw the filter, I'm going to be very careful. And I'm going to remove the end plate there. Half the time people just chuck the filter away and the end plates and bits and bobs go with it. This is a bit of a disaster. So I'll get rid of the filter. We'll now just drain the rest of the oil. Now what I'm going to do is just clean up this mess, and then I'm going to show you how to refit the new filter and what should be inside your canister. Okay, once you've cleaned up, the first thing to note is there's a seal inside here. Now these seals have got a habit of going absolutely rock hard. So what you must do, take your screwdriver, or in some cases your Stanley knife, and get it out. Now, this one's relatively soft because this is a tractor I've been working on. Once you've got the first one out, put your screwdriver to the back, make sure you hit aluminium, you scrape aluminium. If you scrape what looks like Bakelite, there's another one at the back. You must get it out. The main reason for these these housings leaking is that there's old seals still stuffed up the gap, and when you tighten it up, it either doesn't seal or it just distorts the alley head. So that's very important. Yeah, there we go. Okay, fitting your new filter to the housing. I've laid out all the components here. We've got the bolt, we've got the heavy washer. Now there's an O-ring there that goes within the washer. We have a spring, a plain washer, a felt washer, a top hat, a filter, and usually in the packs there's a couple of seals. In this case it's the thin seal that we use. So I'm going to assemble this together. Now what you do find occasionally, there's a very thin spring clip on these. There were, to be fair, the spring clip was on them all from new, but by this point they've usually gone in the bin. I can supply the spring clips. equally, they're only there to stop you chucking the bits away. That's their only purpose in life. So, O-ring on. Take a look at your filter housing. This face here sometimes will get pulled in badly. If it is, it's on the bench, find a punch, knock it back. In this case, it's a little bit dished in, but when we drop the bolt in with the O-ring, I can feel that the O-rings, I've got, you know, this ring for it to pull up. So that's number one. Then we'll drop the spring in, we'll drop the plain washer in, we'll drop the felt seal in, we'll drop the top hat with the hat portion up. So now you can see, got all our bits and bobs in there. So now when you drop the filter in there, the spring will push the filter, this face here, up against the filter head. And as you can see, having the top hat in there, make sure that obviously the oil will flow through the filter. The number of times I come to these tractors and there's nothing in there and these filters are just floating around, and I've seen people that should know better fit them and they're just floating around, and because they just don't realise what should be in it. So hopefully this will help everybody out. Then obviously we've just got to fit it. Okay, so what we're going to do is fit the seal in the filter head like this. I've already cleaned the bottom of the groove out. Now as we come with this now, what I can do is I can feel that the spring is pushing the filter, well, it's trapping the filter between the top hat plate and the filter head. And that, I know it's in the right place. And then what I can do, I can just tighten this up by hand to start with. Can be a bit of a fiddle. You don't want to cross thread them. And as it gets close, you can just jiggle the filter housing around. And basically just nip them up. You can always tighten them if they leak, but you don't want to be stripping the threads, so just nip them up. And that should be adequate. And like I say, you can always tighten them. Obviously you'll always watch them when you've changed the filter. I hope you find this helpful.